How much would you say the women folks have been represented in the Nigerian politics so far?
Abysmally low, I must say. I mean, if you think about it, if we look at the statistics, 5.5% representation is abysmal, I must say. There are about 1,534 elective offices at both the federal and state government, and you have only about 86 women occupying those elective positions, leaving 1,400 and something for men only. I mean, these figures are things that get people like myself very angry, but I'm not having a righteous anger to the point where you want to break anybody's head. But we are saying, how do we bridge this gap? We need to really involve men and women. There must be a collaborative effort of both men and women to fix this problem, because you really can't run a country with just one of the gender and succeed as a nation, you know? So it is pretty much very low. The women representation is quite low, and we need to up it. And we may just have to pay heed to the national gender policy, which gives women 35% affirmative action.
All right,
I think that's a place to start with.
Well, there has been so many arguments about, the women, being at the forefront and so on and so forth. But how really important is the role of the women when they eventually, are more represented in politics?
It is very important in the sense that, your life really, your business, your family's health, your education, the education of your children, everything depends on the policies of the government. Therefore, it behoves on all of us to begin to think about finding women on that decision-making table, on that table where our laws are made. Because when we are not on that table, there is so much happening there, and you need the voice of the woman. We bring in a lot to the table. We are better managers of resources. Our country will be better developed when you have more women playing at that table. When you exclude them, it's probably one of the biggest problems Nigeria have, and Africa as a whole. Because of our patriarchal system and the way we have placed the woman, we are not utilizing the potentials, the talents, and the intelligence of the woman. Look at how the homes are run. So bring that to the table. Come to the national playing ground where everybody should play and make that happen. So I must say that we need the collaborative effort of everybody, both men and women, to bridge this gap. It's very important we do that.
Well, this role, which is very active, of course, politics, when we look at the issue of, the political landscape, where we have it being dominated by men. And now we are saying that let the women to be featured in this political sphere, this political landscape. How would you describe this role when it comes to these nocturnal meetings that politicians always have? Because it's really a tough job, you will agree.
Yes.
Yes.
It is. The nocturnal meetings really is, I mean, you come into politics, it's something that women also need to look at. When you come into politics, these nocturnal meetings we talk about, it's not just women that are excluded. Even some men are excluded from those meetings. Meetings you hold at about 3 p.m., 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m. when people are sleeping, There are also men that are excluded from that meeting. But what brings you into that room is really what you're bringing to the table. I worked for a governorship candidate in 2015. And when those nocturnal meetings are held, I found that I'm always the only woman in the room. And sometimes the men tell you they don't even see you as a woman. They're only seeing you based on what you're bringing to the table. So I want Nigerian women to begin to think about what they are offering and not be running because you're a woman. You just have to run because there is so much we have to offer. And that's where I want us to be coming from. And talking about the nocturnal meetings, I think we need to review our political system,
right,
and how the political parties are, playing. For you to have a level playing ground, you must be seen to be working at a time where everybody can play.
Okay.
And when you work at times when people who work at certain ungodly hours of the night.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So our politics should also. I'm sure there are also political parties who are
All right,
holding meetings
Mary.
when normal people are meeting.
Well, thank you so much for finding time to come on the program. We just pray that whenever we find women, on the road to vote for men, they should also support the women folks too. And that is very, very key. Thank you so much, social commentator, especially on women and children, Mary Ikoku. Thanks so much for finding time to join us on the program.
Thanks for having me.